What's up, guys? Dan Garner, strength coach and nutrition specialist here. Now, being a strength coach and nutrition guy for physique transformation and athletic performance, I've worked with a lot of people in my day. But when it comes to the females, it really didn't matter if they were general population, if they were athletes, if they were elite athletes. I've worked with bikini girls, I've worked with figure girls, and across the board, really, all girls, one of their main goals was to build a bigger butt, was to have a nice bum, okay? And I wanted to make this video a little bit about that because a lot of girls' main goal is that, but they don't get that. They train very hard, they think they're doing some of the right things, but it just ends up not happening. So when it comes to training the glutes, you also have to look at it just like any other group of muscles, okay? You have to kind of understand the glute and understand how they function. So your glutes are made up of your gluteus maximus and your gluteus medius and your gluteus minimus. So the gluteus maximus his primary function is hip extension. So it will extend the hips forward in, say, like a squat or barbell hip thrust. And your gluteus medius and your gluteus minimus, they're responsible for leg abduction. So the kind of like the abductor machine when you're bringing the legs away from the body, your medius and your minimus are responsible for leg abduction. So training your gluteus maximus and your gluteus medius and minimus in these planes of motion and ensuring that you're getting them in all those planes of motion is going to more optimize your training. But they're just like any other muscle group. They're going to respond best to a variety of rep ranges and a variety of angles and a variety of exercises, okay? So, for example, with the gluteus maximus, even though its primary function is hip extension, you would think, oh, just barbell hip thrusters, right? But when you're doing a squat, for example, go back up, you're doing a squat, for example, when you're here and you're at the bottom of the movement of a squat and you come back up, that's still a version of hip extension. So you're still training the gluteus maximus, but in a different function, which is going to allow it for more growth. You're giving it a different type of training stimulus, but on the same muscle. And you want to switch up the rep ranges as well because different muscle fibers respond to different rep ranges. So like you have your type 1 muscle fibers, your type 2, and your type 2B, and each of those muscle fiber groups respond differently to different rep ranges. So just to give a brief example of it, your type 1 are your more endurance muscle fibers, so they are more for steady state, long distance stuff or more endurance type weight training. So they would be more, your type 1 muscle fibers would be dominant doing rep ranges 15 or above in one set, whereas your type 2 and your type 2X or your more heavy lifting, more intense muscle fibers, and your type 2B muscle fibers, not type 2X, your type 2B fibers will be responsible in the rep ranges from 1 to 5, and your type 2 fibers will be more activated in the rep ranges of 6 to 12. So you want to optimize all three different types of fibers because all three different types of fibers have potential for growth. So if you're doing squats, for example, and you're trying to build up your glutes, and all you're ever doing is 3 sets of 10 every time, or 4 sets of 10, and that's always what you do, you're really only hitting one muscle fiber type the whole time. You're leaving yourself untapped growth where you could be getting other results by switching up your rep ranges and attacking all muscle fibers. So mixing up your rep ranges, making sure you're going full range of motion with things like stiff-legged deadlifts, lunges, and going low with squats, variety of exercise, variety of angles, understanding how those muscles work in their function and in their plane of movement and training them in those angles is going to bring you to success. For more information on how to build your booty, click on the link below.